Three wonderful people, not be smarty the apple. So now our brother, I don't come outside. They say we say WIKE the verse for us. Say WIKE not dey happy with us. Say because he side article. Say no, we cannot be happy with him. Now I be the owner of a vision. I know owner of a vision. I did talk so. He say where WIKE now your choice. So now your choice. Not be me go. Dele Momodu say now your choice. Not be me go tell you say you do this or may you do that. It's your choice at the end of the day. Yes, now your choice. You go choose your city you want. So why Governor Yesom Wike is angry with me? Now Dele Momodu reveal so. It is no longer news that there is no love between the River State Governor Yesom Wike and the Ovation publisher Dele Momodu. The Rivers governor is not happy with Dele Momodu's decision to work with Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, the People Democratic Party presidential candidate, as his media advisor. Wike is opposed to Atiku. Recall that Wike is one of the G5 governors who took further governors away and opposed Atiku because of what Wike has repeatedly criticized Atiku and everyone that has to do with it. But the Ovation publisher has maintained a golden silence in all the drama that has ensued between Alhaji Atiku Abubakar and Wike. A few days ago, Dele Momodu broke his silence and spoke to City People publisher Sheyi Kende about the disagreement with Governor Yesom Wike and others. What happened between you and Governor Wike? To be quite honest, I don't like to speak about Governor Yesom Wike because once upon a time we were friends. Once upon a time we had a client, and the Yorubas have a slogan that we must look at in those days of disagreement. Every song become like one is speaking to the other. He's a man I love with all my heart, and that is the truth. Every hardworking, very, 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 very hardworking person must know that is why we call him Mr. Project. He's a very hardworking man. As a stage, he invited me to Port Harcourt, and I spent good time in Port Harcourt, embracing him as much as he was working a lot for the people. Did not appreciate his hard work because of only one thing, because of only one weakness, his anger. He's a man who is quick with his temper and does not consider the consequences of what he's saying. He have done it before he start considering and thinking about the repercussion of his action. We were not friends originally. I used to be friends with his boss, Honorable Rotimi Amechi. Him himself, I'll attest to that at all time, that Dele Momodu, I used to watch you all the time when you and Amechi fly in a helicopter over rivers, and I could feel the admiration in him when I started going there. In fact, he was so humble. He would open the door of his own car for me and ask me to sit in his official car, and he will just remove the flag of the car, and we will have a healthy relationship. And we used to commend my work. He was spending a lot of money on television. In particular, he was more of a TV person. By the time I came with my blistering social media engagement, he showed a lot of appreciation. He is a family man. He sits down at home. He leaves his house, goes to work, and comes back home, and him and his friends eat together. But something happened in March 30th last year. I wrote a letter. By that time, I had started to suspect that he wanted to contest the presidential election, but he never told anyone. So I wrote a letter, a heart-to-heart letter, something that you will only write to your own friend and blood brother. And I said, I'm suspecting that you want to contest, but I want to let you know that I have access to a lot of people in Nigeria, and I know the way they feel about you. I was playing the role of a counselor, and if a counselor to a man, you should be able to gear up your mood and check the nation and let him know the truth. So I wrote him a letter in good faith. I didn't say he shouldn't run. So pleaded with him and I said, I want to run too. Why didn't you tell me you want to run? Because I was able to open up to him that I wanted to run. And I believed that he was going to run. Nigeria will need certain characteristics from the candidate. And I laid down some of the characters. I said from the feel I'm from the feelings I'm getting, if you actually decide to run, you are going to have to contest with forces, especially if the North, I told him, I don't usually meddle words. And everything I told him came from to pass. I said, look, the feeling in the North is that you are an anti-Muslim. That is your feeling. They believe you are fighting them by taking them to court over the VAT issue. They feel he was fighting for the cause of the South. The moment he said he was fighting for the South, definitely he's going to have issues with some people. So I tried to explain everything to him. And I said, if any reason you are not able to run, perhaps the only thing I lack is money. Everything else God has given me, from global connection and global exposure experience, God will give me. But as a brother and as a good friend, please support me, was what I said to him. I think around that time we listened to Pastor Paul Adefarasi's message, where he was talking about option B, that you must always have option B. So I wanted him to have an option B, and that was the purpose of my letter. And I copied two people in the letter so that they will be able to advise me and speak to him, because the two of them were my mutual friends. One of them is Mohammed, and the former Attorney General and Minister of Justice. We were very close. And when he came from exile from Ghana, I was one of those who received him very warmly, settled him, and like we like each other. He's a very brilliant man. Some people have harassed him about his tenure, and I feel that was unnecessary because he did his job as the Attorney General. I believe the best, to his best of his ability, should have been commended instead of people trying to find him guilty. He was very powerful. He had very powerful enemies, and we became friends like brothers. We'll come to my house and we'll go to his place and make amala for him. So we spoke. So now, so my people, now so the matter they be. Let me hear your thoughts. God bless. Bye for now.